You're listening to the ESO Network, your station for all things geek.
Hello, and welcome to episode 297 of the Soul Forge podcast.
Welcome to the Soul Forge, a place of silent mystery, quiet contemplation, and outright mayhem. Join your host, Sean Vanderloo, as he guides you through the adventures of living. Together, we'll talk about life and love, sex and dating, joy and heartache, memories and loss, and so much more. Don't worry, it's not nearly as pretentious as it sounds. Get ready for life, the universe, and everything on the Soul Forge.
Hey everybody, it's Sean back at you with another very exciting episode. It's the 6th anniversary episode of the podcast. Today, as I am recording this, it is July 31st, and it was July 31st back in 2017 when the first episode was launched. And even though this is coming out August 3rd, it's still good enough, close enough. And I'm not alone today. With me is our good friend Leah.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm fantastic. It's the 6th anniversary episode, and you get to be on it. How excited are you?
Oh, I'm super excited.
I can tell. You look thrilled.
Yes.
So what we thought we would do is we would talk about weddings and anniversaries.
Yeah.
Because it's an anniversary episode.
Yes.
And we just talked about 2 episodes ago who's getting married. So I thought, and you thought, why not talk about weddings and anniversaries?
Absolutely.
Seems like a good idea.
Yeah, definitely. A great idea. It's something that happens a couple of times to people in their lifetime.
A couple of times.
Yeah, sometimes.
Yeah? Mm-hmm. Well, explain this to me.
Well, more often than not, a lot of people are, getting married young and then maybe they divorce and they end up remarrying again at some point.
I could see that happening.
Mm-hmm.
I, too, have gotten married and divorced.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And as longtime listeners will know, episode 51 was the divorce episode.
Ah, yes.
And when I was younger, I always thought to myself, oh, well, my mom had 3 marriages. I guess I'm just going to do one and done.
One and done.
And if it doesn't work out, well, then either it has to be I have to become a widow or whatever, or we'll just stay married forever.
Right.
Even though we're not together.
Right.
Because can't have a divorce on my record.
Uh-huh. Yes.
And then 3 years after the marriage fell apart, I was like, well, maybe I will get the divorce.
Ah. So why? Why did you feel that you needed to get the divorce?
I didn't want her to have my pension, basically.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, money is a good reason.
Yep.
It seems as though money is actually the number one reason most couples break up.
Is that true?
Yes, absolutely.
I could actually see that.
Yeah.
Because they don't know how to communicate about money, or one person hides the finances, and then chaos ensues.
Yes. Yeah. It seems as that's the case.
Huh. So maybe one of the best things to do is communicate with your partner.
Absolutely.
Would you agree with that?
I would definitely agree with that. Communication is probably the number one key to marriage. At least that's my opinion. I don't know any facts or anything, but I have been married twice myself.
You have?
Mm-hmm. Yep, I have. So I first got married when I was rather young. My first marriage was in 2000, and then my second one, I had quite the lengthy engagement.
Yes, you told me about this.
Yeah, we were engaged for about 11 years.
That is a long time.
That is a long time to be engaged, yeah.
Why so long?
I don't know. I think both of us were probably just not in any hurry to get married, clearly. But we were already living together, and we were raising his son from his first marriage. So it seemed as though we already had the perfect little family. And then, of course, we had our son. So it just didn't seem like it was a need, really. It was just more of a piece of paper.
Yeah, I could see that. Mm-hmm. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, that was the thinking. But I do have to say, after I got married the second time, I felt more of a closeness. I felt more attached to this person than I did when we weren't married.
right because it was official.
Maybe, yeah.
That makes a certain amount of sense.
Yeah.
I was engaged to my son's mom for about 5 years, and we were going to go to Vegas and get married there, or we hadn't really decided, but we were engaged for all these years, and then after we split up, she got engaged to a friend of hers that she's known since high school, but the entire time that we were together, she was still married to her first husband.
Okay.
But as soon as we broke up, even though we were engaged for the whole 5 years, she got the marriage taken care of right away and married this new guy that she's with now for the last 10 years.
Right.
So I was like, well,
It's really makes you go, doesn't it?
It does. Like, why didn't you get the divorce when we were engaged? I guess it wasn't a priority.
Right. Didn't seem like it was a priority. Maybe that's a good indication of how the rest of the relationship would go.
Maybe. We were together for almost 9 years, engaged for more than half of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And,
But you never set a wedding date or got married.
We were saving money to go to Vegas. And I don't know. I was not...
5 years is a long time to be saving money. How much money did you manage to save?
We didn't save much.
There you go.
Because we had gotten a house and it needed a lot of work and just expenses came up. And,
right.
These things happen.
Yeah, so it seems like other priorities came up after that, right?
That's right.
So again, the marriage was not the priority.
No.
Right.
Clearly it wasn't.
So maybe that's an indication that, maybe this was not the match that you thought it was.
That's quite true.
Yeah.
And these things happen.
Of course. Yes. No, they happen. Absolutely. Yeah. So that brings up a couple of anniversaries. You have an engagement anniversary and you have a divorce anniversary or a breakup anniversary.
Yes. Yes. I do remember the day I left her. Yeah. I have that anniversary stuck in my head for some reason. So. Oh,
see? Okay. That's fair. That's fair. Did you ever have one of those? These are becoming a lot more popular. These, I don't think you wore a dress or anything, but some females have started a new tradition where they burn the dress or wreck the dress or whatever.
Yeah.
Other people have had divorce parties, so you go out and celebrate because you're now divorced.
Right.
So have you ever did you do anything like that? Did you celebrate in any way?
I don't believe I did.
No.
The divorce from the woman I married after I broke up with my son's mom, that was a quiet affair. We had split up and we'd been separated for 3 years, and I just finally decided, well, maybe I should finally do this. And she signed the paper, and it was easy peasy. And
excellent.
Yeah, episode 51. If you'd like to go back and listen to the trials and tribulations of how I was feeling back then.
Okay, all right, that's fair.
Now, speaking of 6 years of the podcast, you've listened to some of these episodes.
I've listened to some, yeah. I kind of went back into the history and started listening to some interesting episodes.
And what have you learned?
I don't know how to answer that.
Well, why don't you think about it while we play a promo for another podcast here on the ESO Network?
Okay.
Pardon the interruption. We'll bring you back to your podcast in just a moment. But first, promo for the Cosmic Pizza Podcast.
Here on the ESO Network, 3 hosts recommend this podcast.
I recommend it.
I recommend it.
And I recommend it.
On the Cosmic Pizza Podcast, it's a slice of life as we discuss literally anything in the universe. Cosmic Pizza Podcast.
Here to serve all of your needs.
Wednesday, I'm here with you people. It's like wild.
No pizzas were harmed in the creation of this podcast.
And we're back. Was that enough time to think about what you've learned by listening?
Well, I have learned a lot of interesting Sean facts, I seem to recall an episode about sex, and in regards to one particular person said that people don't look up. So if you're ever having sex on a balcony or something, people don't look up. So feel free to do whatever you need to do as long as you're at a higher distance, because people apparently don't look up. That was one thing I learned about the first time you had sex, I guess, was in a car on a highway.
That wasn't the first time.
Oh, that wasn't the first time. Okay.
No.
Oh, all right.
No, that was just
I remember that. Or that was maybe your most adventurous. I
that
can't
was probably
remember.
the most adventurous.
Okay. All
Maybe,
right.
yeah.
So yeah, I learned that. I listened to one where you had a tarot card reading.
That's true.
Yeah. So that was quite interesting.
Yeah, so there's been a lot of experiences that I've had over the last 6 years of the podcast. It's been quite the journey.
It seems to have been, and you've had some interesting guests, people.
Yes, I've had authors that contacted me out of nowhere that I didn't know.
Nice.
Which was interesting. There was the rapper from Australia who wanted to be the new Eminem.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yep. Mm-hmm. There was a sex goddess from San Diego.
Okay.
Who, after we recorded that episode a few years later, she's like, "I'm not that person anymore. I need you to remove that episode."
Ah.
Yeah. So it was episode 49, I believe, or 47, or somewhere around there, and I took it out of the feed, left the episode there, and just re-recorded it and called it "One of Our Episodes is Missing." So whatever episode that actually is, it's still in its original form on the YouTube channel, so you can still listen to it.
Still understand
it's still
it there.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's in the 40s anyway, I believe.
In the 40s. Okay.
Yeah. So
Excellent.
if anybody's interested in going to the YouTube channel and subscribing, that would be amazing.
That would be amazing.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So weddings. You've been married twice before, you said.
Yeah, I've been married twice. I do have to say the second time around, I had the wedding of my dreams. I found my ideas of a wedding were very simple. Let me start with my first wedding. So my first wedding, I was actually marrying a man who was the firstborn son of an Italian couple. So my wedding had to be rather large. I had a very expensive dress. It was about $700. And in 2000, that was pretty expensive.
Yes.
For a wedding dress. I had, the big reception, and we had a giant meal and all the dancing. And of course there was drinking and partying. It was pretty formal though.
Right.
I got married in a rather large church. And so it was an experience, I have to say. It was a very stressful experience. And by the end of it, I was extremely tired. I found it a very daunting task. Even to have such a large wedding was very daunting.
Too many logistics to handle and coordinate?
Yeah, there was a lot of planning involved and frustrations. I think I turned into a bridezilla at one point.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I find bridezillas really funny, and I love to hear stories about them, but I'm sure I was a bridezilla at that point. So yeah, it was very, there's some good memories and of course some more difficult memories, but regardless, all in all, it was an experience that I don't think I would ever want to have again. My second wedding marriage happened at a camp. So just east of Sault Ste. Marie here is McCarroll Lake, and on McCarroll Lake is a lovely little camp called Camp Wakanda, which it was a public camp at one point for children in the area for overnight camps. And I got married there. We rented it for the entire weekend and had family who could stay in the cabins with us. And it was actually quite nice because I put all of these long benches on the beach and we got married on the beach, which is what I wanted. And then we had our reception in the lodge afterwards. It was a lot of fun. We had a bonfire and friends came out and everybody was able to stay. And it was nice. It was very nice.
It sounds a lot more relaxing than the first one.
Yes. It was definitely more relaxing. Because I had everything in mind that I wanted to do, it seemed to flow a little easier. I was able to relax and enjoy the day instead of stressing about how things were going and the appearance of it all. And
that's important.
Who would get angry.
Yeah.
Those types of things. So I was able to just enjoy.
Nice. Mm-hmm. So you had two weddings, both spectacular in their own ways.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Would you do it a third time?
I would have to say the right person would have to come along. And I'm not too sure that I would do a giant wedding anymore. I just don't think I have it in me anymore. Whatever he would like to do, I'm more than happy to do it. But I just don't feel that I would be as strong in that strong voice of saying, this is what I want, and I'm not going to compromise on it. So I probably, it would have to be something rather small and intimate.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, would you want to fly to Vegas or Tahiti or Hawaii or something?
Yes, like a destination wedding?
Like a destination wedding.
Yeah, that sounds okay. I'm not too sure that I'd want to go somewhere exotic, that I would have to have 2 weddings, though, because if you go somewhere that is not, I believe, within the British Commonwealth, yeah, you have to get married twice. So
Right, because the one at the destination is actually not recognized.
Right, in Canada. So you would have to get married in Canada and wherever it is that you're going. So sounds like an awful lot of work and a lot of coordination, and I really don't want to do that.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Especially since you've had 2 spectacular weddings that you've enjoyed immensely by the sounds of it.
Yeah.
Had some certain amount of stress and
Yep.
and whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about you? What would you look for in your second marriage or wedding?
Well, the first one was a backyard wedding with just our parents. So it wasn't...
Wasn't the party you thought?
No, we didn't have the head table where everybody got to ding the glasses and we had to kiss or any of that kind of stuff. We actually were supposed to get married the following July, but for whatever reason we decided to get married within 2 weeks, and that was in November. So then the following July, on the date that we were originally supposed to get married, we actually threw a party and had a reception and had a wedding reenactment, and it was all kinds of fun. And her brother was the fake minister, and we wrote our own wedding speech, and it was kind of neat. But it was all fake and it wasn't real. But it was a fun little party kind of a thing. So still no head table and anything like that. I've been to enough weddings where I think I would be uncomfortable with that anyway, being the center of attention. That's not my forte or my favorite thing to do. So, yeah, maybe flying to Vegas and getting married by an Elvis impersonator or an alien goddess or something would be cool. I don't know.
And post it online so that everybody could just see it then?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or, hey, let's all go to Vegas. I'm getting married, so come along if you want to see.
Right. For sure. You brought up an interesting point that that reminds me of weddings a lot, and that's clinking of the glasses or banging on plates or whatever to have the couple kiss. A lot of people have sort of gotten a little more creative with stuff like that. Some people get these giant dice, and anybody who wants the couple to kiss, they have to go and roll the dice. And some people... for instance, would say, well, if you want the couple to kiss, you have to kiss somebody. That could probably cause a lot of arguments, but...
That could be fun.
That could be fun. Other people, such as myself, we actually put little bells on the table, which I don't really think we thought this one through. But instead of people clinking glasses or possibly breaking plates, we put bells on the table, and whenever they wanted us to kiss as the couple, they would ring the bells. It got pretty annoying after a while.
I can imagine.
Yeah, especially when there were children there, and so the children would get their hands on the bells.
Oh, that sounds dangerous.
Yeah, it was rather. It could be rather annoying.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah. So that's definitely something interesting. We also, at my first wedding, we actually put cameras on the table, and we encouraged disposable cameras, and we encouraged everyone to take photos, candid photos, and then once we developed them, we had some great memories from other people's perspectives.
That's a great idea.
So that was fun.
I bet.
Yeah, that was really, really fun. We also found a way for everyone to sort of incorporate themselves into our first dance, where we had bubbles on the tables, and we asked people to blow bubbles during our first dance. The problem with that is the floor gets rather slippery.
I'll bet it does.
After, yeah. So if you're going to do something like that, I definitely recommend a mop being close by.
Smart.
Yeah.
Okay, so those are some cool wedding ideas.
Sure.
Did you ever do anything fun for anniversaries?
No.
No?
No, I really don't think so. A lot of people, there are traditions for that, every 5 years maybe, or 10 years or 25 years you do a vow renewal. A lot of people have done that.
That's true. True.
Are you going to renew your vow today to continue the podcast?
That's a funny question. I've been running out of ideas. So every year the credit card renews sometime in June, and I'm like, well, before it does that, maybe I should end the podcast. and then I don't, and then I continue on. So, really, I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to keep going until I've run out of ideas.
So now this is August.
Yeah.
So have you already at least made the vow of the 1 year renewal?
Yeah, because that was back in June, so
right.
I got to keep going at least until next May.
Yes. So here it is, live, everyone. Sean has actually made the vow renewal that he is going to be with you until at least May of 2024.
That's right. So whether it's once every Thursday when it comes out or every second Thursday, I haven't decided yet. Mm-hmm. Basically, it's when ideas come up. Sure. This could have been last week's episode, but I kind of forgot that the anniversary was coming up. So here we are now. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's what's been going on here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. One other question that I think I want to ask is children at anniversaries and weddings, yay or nay? That's a big controversial topic for a lot of people.
Is that right?
Yeah.
I could see kids being at the wedding ceremony. The reception, no, because you want to get drunk and have fun, and the kids should be in bed.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you think maybe kids for dinner and then...
Yeah, kids for dinner.
Yeah.
And then they can piss off. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
But it all depends on how mature they are, I guess, and who they belong to, and all that kind of fun stuff. But I would think, for the most part, children should be vanished.
Oh, okay.
Because it's time for the adults to play and have fun.
Okay. All right. I wonder what your viewers or listeners think of that.
Well, if they have any opinions on that, they can reach me at soulforgepodcast@gmail.com and let me know their thoughts.
Okay.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Is there anything else we should discuss about weddings or anniversaries?
Nope.
No.
Not that I'm aware of. Do you think you have anything?
I don't think we have told the listeners that you and I have recently engaged in a relationship.
Oh, that's true. I don't think we have.
Should we tell them, or should we keep that a secret?
Oh, I don't know. That's coming out as, being in a relationship is sometimes very difficult, because do we really want people to know?
Is it a secret?
Well, I don't think it is.
I don't think it is either. But maybe we won't tell them just yet.
Okay.
All
right,
that sounds good. All right, so that is the end of the 6-year anniversary episode. Hope you guys and girls in podcast land enjoyed it. Like I said, if you have any comments, questions, concerns, or anything else you might want to discuss, soulforgepodcast@gmail.com is the way to reach us here on the show, and your comments may be read on a future episode. But until next time, I hope you guys and girls will all take care of yourselves and each other, and remember, fall in love with a weird one, someone not quite right in the head. Life is far more interesting when love is odd. Thank you for listening to another episode of the Soul Forge Podcast. Your support is greatly appreciated, and we hope you'll tune in again next time. Remember that you can visit soulforgepodcast.com for all of our social media links, and don't forget to share the show with everyone you know. The Soul Forge Podcast is your best source for living your best life.
Think about it.
This has been a broadcast of the ESO Network. Be part of the crew and help support our shows by donating to our ESO Patreon or by shopping at the TeePublic store, which can all be found at www.esonetwork.com. The ESO Network, your station for all things geek.